Alice has asked, could you explain turning points in Save the Cat? I'm tearing my story apart in revision and need to know where they are. I thought one was at the climax where the hero must choose. I've been listening to someone who uses story grid, which I'm confused by, as I use 3-act structure and Save the Cat. Okay, yeah, I was confused for a long time at where the climax is, and I think it's because people put it at different spots. In my mind, it is in the finale, and I've sort of nailed it down, and I could be wrong, but I've nailed the typical climax when people are saying that word. I've nailed it down to the like Hightower surprise of the finale, if that helps. But I also, you know, if you're listening to someone who's talking about story grid and it's confusing you, you know, it's also kind of helpful just to pick one structure method or the next, because that can be confusing. All right, but back to your question. The turning points are these 5 foundation beats that I often talk about, which is the catalyst is the first turning point because it stops the status quo in its tracks and forces the story to swerve. Which way is it going to swerve? Well, that's the next turning point. It's the break into 2. So the catalyst creates a question. What next? The debate is the kind of answering of that question. And then the break into 2 is the decision. So that's another turning point because it's going to send the story in a new direction. The midpoint is the third major turning point. And that's because it usually culminates in a false victory or a false defeat, which causes the hero to have to swerve again, to have to basically turn in a new direction, try something different, maybe even with a new goal or a modification of their old goal. But it feels like a crossroads because we're actually pivoting the plot again. The 4th major turning point is the all is lost when the hero hits rock bottom. So the track or the path they've been on throughout the whole book is suddenly feeling hopeless. This isn't going to work. It was never going to work, that kind of feeling. And so it feels like another turning point. And similar to the catalyst, it turns us into a period of what next, which we call the dark night of the soul. Then we get to the final 5th turning point, or major turning point, which is this break into 3, which is an answer to that question of what are we going to do in response to the all is lost. I hope that helps. Sometimes it kind of just helps to like nail down those 5 beats and then sort of string the other beats between them. That's why I love to talk about the 5 foundation beats. I think at the end of the Save the Cat class, if I'm not mistaken, there is a bonus lecture about the 5 foundation beats if you want to check those out and get some more detail on them. If you enjoyed this video, we've got a lot more on writingmastery.com. Check the description for links to our blog, free writing tools, and more. Happy writing.